Got to ask you this. Has the time come for Tank Davis to take control of his own career and leave Mayweather Promotions?
It don't necessarily have to be leave Mayweather Promotions. It's about just becoming that man, handle your own responsibility, your own priority. So I feel as though it's my career, so I feel as though I need to be the one to control my career. You know what I mean? So, and it's time. You know what I mean? Everybody don't need to, have them training wheels on them forever. You know, it's time to, ride their own bike without training wheels.
So this is your last fight with Mayweather Promotions?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Those are the words of Gervonta Tank Davis as he tells Brian Custner that this is my last fight with Floyd. Money Mayweather with Mayweather Promotions. Let me counterpunch. First, let me say this. This looks like it's confirmation, or appears like it's confirmation that he's leaving Floyd. But the only thing, this is what I question. Brian Custner already said, well, is that meaning you leaving Floyd or Money or Mayweather Promotions? Right? Is it that what you mean by that? And he was like, well, it's not just about doing that. It's about, taking care of your own career. And you heard him say, well, yeah, absolutely. This is my last fight with Mayweather Promotions. This is what I think Tank's going to do. First, let me give you this. I think Tank needs to. I think Tank should have done this 3-4 years ago. I think a lot of fights that he should have already fought. I think a lot of his talent was wasted due to someone else's vision and shadowing, and that's Floyd. Floyd put Tank in fights that he would have fought if he had the opportunity to fight pick every fight that he wanted to during his career. I think he did that with Tank. He used those fights that he would have fought in a present day Tank. Okay, so Tank's fights, he would have fought smaller guys just like Floyd wanted to fight smaller guys. Can't you guys see the similarities, the comparisons? Think about this. What's the difference between him fighting Cuellar, Santa Cruz? Who else was it? Let's look up Gervonta Tank Davis just for a minute, Gervonta, he fought a series like a gang of guys. Okay, Cuellar, Jesus Cuellar. All right, that guy was coming from 126. Right, Hugo Ruiz also was coming from 126. Ricardo Munoz, which I didn't really hear about. Then he fought Gamboa, which was 38 years old. With one leg, okay, but they criticized Terrence Crawford for knocking out Jose, Benavidez with one leg, right? So, you see the bias in that, but they failed to realize Jose Benavidez was undefeated at the time he got in the ring with Terrence Crawford. Just want to cross-reference that for a second. Leo Santa Cruz also was a guy that, by that time, Gervonta Tank Davis was already fighting at 140. Then he came back to 130, made weight at 130, and knocked out the smaller Leo Santa Cruz. Okay? Or let me rephrase. The next fight, he fought Mario Barrios, okay, at 140. So I stand corrected on that. But you see the series of guys, Santa Cruz, Munoz, Ruiz, Cuellar, okay? I'm not even sure about Fonseca, but I think Fonseca was a guy that fought at super featherweight and lightweight, okay? And if you look at his record, let's see, he was, well, it doesn't really show. We fought Ryan Garcia, and of course that was at lightweight. Tevin Former, that was for featherweight, and that was an 18. a featherweight title. Okay, that was a 19 lightweight. So a lot of his fighters were coming up to that particular weight. So they were forced to move up. You know, Leo Santa Cruz moved up to 130. Okay. he ducked guys like Gary Russell Jr., which was fighting at 126. All right. So he fought a lot of smaller guys. That's just like Floyd wanting to fight Barrera, Morales, right? Prince Asim Ahmed. You see the comparison? Okay. So, yeah, that's what Floyd wanted to do. He just used Tank to do it. All right. Now, will he leave Floyd? I think he will temporarily leave Floyd until he shows Floyd that he can bank and become a bankable commodity somewhere else. I think he'll try the Canelo route. That's what I think Terrence Crawford should do. I think all these fighters should be free agents and work with whoever the hell they need to work with to get the fights that need to happen. That's what I think. Counterpunch. I don't think it has anything to do with the fan base of the bandwagon of who you support, from PBC to the Zone to ESPN and all that shit. None of that matters as long as we get the right fights, as long as we get the fights that we want to see, because that's what it matters. The talent matters. The boxers matter. None of that other shit matters. So if he does leave Floyd, Money Mayweather, let that be, because it would be better for boxing. Okay, it would be better for a guy that wants to walk out and stake his own claim. Okay, so if anything, I'm proud of Gervonta Tank Davis for being able to talk for once, because he couldn't talk. And when he did, he fought once a year. He was punished. He was put in time out. He was put in a hot box. He was put in shit like that. Why? Because they wanted to silence him. Shh, don't say anything. Don't talk bad about us, or we're going to punish you. And that's what happened to Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, so a lot of times his mouth was the reason where he wasn't getting a check, and he wasn't getting a check because he wasn't fighting. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Gervonta Tank Davis stating this will be the last fight with Floyd Mayweather Promotions. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!